Hey everyone, it's your girl Stainless Lady Sparkle, and I'm here to sparkle the world. And welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to share with you the powerful story of Rahab, the prostitute from the Bible, whose faith and courage transformed her life. But more than just retelling her story, I want to dive into how her experiences speaks to me personally and how it can inspire all of us. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Faith that transcends circumstances. Rahab wasn't a person anyone expected to be used by God. She lived in a city that didn't worship God, and she worked as a prostitute. In today's society, she would probably be looked down upon or judged for her choices. But here's the thing: her faith wasn't tied to her past or her status. Personal insight. This part of Rahab's story really hits home for me because it's easy to feel unworthy or like our past defines us. But Rahab shows us that no matter where we come from or what we've done, God can still use us. There's something powerful about believing in God's plan, even when your situation looks messy or broken. It makes me think about the times in my life when I feel stuck in my past, but faith gave me the strength to move forward. We have to remind ourselves God sees beyond our circumstances. Chapter 2: Courage to take risk. When Rahab hid the Israelite spies, she was putting her life at risk. The king of Jericho could have killed her if he found out, but she still made the bold move because she believed in something bigger than her fear. Another personal insight for me: Rahab's courage reminds me that sometimes you have to take risk even when you are scared. It's not easy to step out in faith, especially when it feels like everything around you is telling you no. I've had moments in my life where I had to make risky decisions, not knowing what would happen next. But looking at Rahab's story, I see that when we take courage steps in faith, God shows up. It's about believing that even when things don't make sense, God got a bigger plan. Chapter 3: Overcoming labels and judgment. Rahab was known as a prostitute. That was her label. And I'm sure people looked down on her for that. But when you think about it, it's not who she was that mattered in the end. It's what she did and how her faith redefined her. She went from being known for her mistakes to being remembered for her faith. Personal insights. This is something I personally connect with because in today's world, people are so quick to label you based on your past or your mistakes. But Rahab's story shows that we are not defined by the labels people put on us, whether it's what we've done or what people say about us. God sees our potential. I learned that instead of letting the world's label hold me back, I need to focus on how God sees me. It is about what's inside, the faith, the heart, and that's what counts. Chapter 4: Redemption and New Beginning. What really stands out about Rahab's story is how completely her life changed after her act of faith. She wasn't just saved from destruction, she became part of the Israelite community, married a man named Salmon, and even became part of Jesus' family line. That's a huge turnaround. Wow. Rahab's redemption is so inspiring to me because it shows that no one is beyond a fresh start. No matter how bad our past looks, God offers us new beginnings. I've experienced moments where I felt like I was too far gone, but just like Rahab, I realized that God doesn't hold our past against us. It's never too late to rewrite your story. If Rahab could go from a prostitute to an ancestor of kings and Jesus himself, imagine what God can do in our lives when we give him control. Chapter 5: God uses unlikely people. Rahab wasn't a leader or a prophet. In fact, she probably felt like she was the last person God would use in his plans, but God chose her. Someone seems so unlikely to fulfill a major part of his purpose. Another insight for me. This really resonates with me because sometimes I look at where I am in life and think, am I really this person for this? It's easy to doubt yourself, especially when you feel like you are not qualified or good enough. But Rahab's story shows that God loves to use unlikely people for great things. It encourages me to trust that even when I don't see it, God can use my unique experience, my story, and my life to make a difference. You don't have to have it all together for God to use you. You just have to be willing. And yes, I'm willing for God to use me. Our conclusion: life lessons from Rahab. Rahab's story reminds me that no one is too far gone for God's grace. Her faith, courage, and redemption speak to me deeply because they show that God sees us for who we can become, not just who we've been. It is a reminder that even in our lowest moments, God has a plan for us, and if we trust Him, He will use us in ways we can't even imagine. So I encourage you all, no matter what you've been through or what labels you've been given, God can rewrite your story just like He did for Rahab. Let me know in the comments what part of Rahab's story speaks to you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more faith-inspired content. Until next time, keep shining. I love you all. See you in the next video.